get something in. So now we're looking for examples of what some inhalants might be. Carson.
Smoking.
Smoking is actually in its own category with tobacco. But it is something that you inhale, but it actually is in a separate category of tobacco. Mauricio? Breathing in oxygen is good for us. We're talking about things that are bad for us. Zach?
Cocaine.
Cocaine is, yes, but that's still not an inhalant. Inhalants are actually airborne things that you breathe in, more like fumes. More like fumes. Megan?
So like if you have a Sharpie and you start smelling it?
Yes, a Sharpie is one. Ernest?
Secondhand, like 3.
Sure?
Secondhand smoking. Another one is like when you go to gas station. Anyway,
Guys, listen please.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's like there's like I don't know.
All right, let's let somebody else give it a try. Maybe they'll say what you're blank for. Julie? Yep, gas. John? Carbon monoxide. Marin? Incense is actually not one of the lists. Yeah, that's actually not an inhalant. It just can kind of make it harder for you to breathe. Sure. Highlighters aren't too bad. They don't really have that strong. They're not really considered that. Let's see, Julia. Right, that's kind of listed in the Sharpie area. Reagan, you have one? Yes, whiteout is one, definitely. Yes, Marla. Okay, that's all right. Hang on. Adrian. That is not an inhalant. All right, I'll take one more and that's it. All right, Vanessa.
Those things that you use to clean computers, those sprays.
Yes, actually, that is one of those spray cans that are on computers. Hang on, one more. All right, Sierra, listen up. Yes, spray cans. Okay. Yes. Yes, nail polish. Okay, hang on. All right, listen up. Okay, you guys are gonna listen up. I don't want to have to start writing names down. Okay, yesterday you guys were already getting rowdy. Thank you. Okay. So we listed a few things. We have Sharpies, gas, carbon monoxide, glue. Is another one? Whiteout. And dust off. Dust off. And paint. Nail polish kind of can be in the paint period, right? Yes, John. Yes, listen up. Yes, John. No, that's what you're smelling. You're smelling a little bit of the chemical process that went into the rubber, the making of the tire. But that's not something that's that big. Yes. We are going to talk about all the stuff it does to your body. So one of the things, did you remember what you were going to say earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you smell alcohol?
Can you inhale alcohol?
Like you know when you
Smell like nothing in the aroma or the smell of alcohol is going to
you
damage.
know how you get like a backpack or something, and then
Oh, rubbing alcohol.
yeah.
Is that what you're thinking of that you use for cleaning? No, that's not one. Yes. That is a drug, but it's not something you inhale. Okay, hang on guys. We're going to move on, all right? I know you guys you're going to have lots of time. We're going to have more questions and a lot of things to go over. So, we're talking about breathing things in. What is something that we have to have when we're breathing in order to live? Yes. Everyone, what do we have to have? Oxygen. So, if we are inhaling things we're not supposed to inhale, then we are preventing our bodies from getting the oxygen we need. Okay? All right. So take out your notebooks, please. Science notebooks. This is page 18, your next available page, page 18. Title of the page is Inhalants. And we're going to have two idea starters here. The first one is, I know that, and you finish it off. And the second one is, I want to know. Give me two sentences for each one, what you know about inhalants, and then what you want to know or think you should know or would like to know. Hopefully we'll cover that today. Two sentences for each heading. Okay, what's your question? These can be things you know from what we just talked about in the beginning of class, like you know what some of the items might be, and what you might want to know. If you don't know anything, you can say, I don't really know anything about it, and I want to learn what it is, what it does to your body, all those sorts of things. Yes, all right. Disgrace, D-I-S, and then the word grace. Okay, so the page you got is also going to go in your notebook. Next blank page, fold the two halves together, short-term and long-term effects of inhalants. We're going to fold those two sides onto the inside. And take this onto your next available page. The top part should say, how do inhalants affect your body? And this is just a reference for you guys. We're going to go over all this stuff as we get through the class. We are. Yes! It's very short, so don't get too excited. Yes, this will still be part of page 18. another 15 seconds. Get a couple pieces of tape on it. 10 seconds. And then I want all the tape dispensers down. 5, 3, 2, 1, and down. Thank you. Okay, like I mentioned, these videos are very quick. They're very short, so please pay attention. There's 2. All right, waiting for taping to be done in the back and the front here. Okay, I need all eyes up front. Okay, ready? Oh, sorry. One mistake. Sounds scary. Of course, it's not working in this class. At least not an hour early. Okay, here we go.
I love that one.
I'm so proud of her. Hey, Dad. They said sniffing glue was no big deal. They lied. Find out the truth about drugs. Drug-free world.org.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Can someone summarize what you think happened there? Megan?
That girl was sniffing glue, and she got like high on it, and so then I couldn't tell if she either like died or just like lost control of her mind, and the parents were like looking back on videos of before she had done that, and were thinking like, oh, I miss that girl, oh, I miss when she was doing that and all that.
Exactly. So she thought that sniffing glue was no big deal, and she did that, and now looks like she's probably paralyzed or brain damaged and in a wheelchair, permanently in a wheelchair. She definitely didn't look like she had any of her mental capacities with her. Yeah, peer pressure is really, really bad. We're going to talk about how sniffing inhalants can damage. You guys listen up, please. I know you have a lot of thoughts and things on this topic. We'll get a chance to talk about some of those, but we're going to show how inhalants gets into your body quickly and all the different organs and systems it can affect. Okay, we have one more video to watch.
Dust off whippets, nitrous oxide, air fresheners,
Air duster.
NOS, markers, butane, inhalants.
It kills brain cells, it lowers IQ, it makes you into a zombie.
Inhalants are toxic things that people use to get a quick high. There are more than 1,000 household products that people use as inhalants to get high.
Most commonly used in the U.S. are shoe polish, glue,
Poppers,
gasoline,
lacquer thinner,
lighter fluid, nitrous oxide,
other paint solvents, and dust off.
barbers and whippets, which you can pick up at the club or concert, contain really poisonous chemicals that can permanently damage your body and brain.
In the long run, it can hurt your body. It can cause damage to your intestinal tract and stuff like that. That cuts off the oxygen to your brain. It kills your brain cells.
Okay, so I'm going to pause on this a little bit. So that was telling you what happened, right? It cuts off the oxygen to your brain, which kills your brain cells. So here's some of these things that happens with inhalants. Permanent brain damage, memory loss, hearing loss, irregular heartbeat, which can lead to heart attack and death, muscle weakness and cramping, nausea and vomiting, abdominal pain, involuntary passing of urine, nosebleeds, loss of smell, slurred speech, suffocation, again, sudden death, bone marrow, and liver damage.
There's one more.
I can't see what that one is. We'll see what that one says. Nerve damage.
It even says on the labels, like, do not
Kidney damage.
inhale, you could die from inhaling this. Like, on the labels of just stop it causes heart attacks, causes this and that. It's not like heroin or like meth or any of those drugs where it will, eventually you will gain a tolerance for it and you'll just be addicted and you'll just be trapped by it and you just keep doing it until you die. If you did it enough, you just die.
Like a lot of kids die with it still in their mouth because you just don't know when it's too much.
Okay,
just
so
sniff this glue.
shouldn't talk too much about how they do the things, but pretty much anything that has like a fine spray to it that has a strong odor is something that if you breathe in on purpose a lot, you could damage your insides. Yes, Ernest?
So like air fresheners, they can hurt you?
Yeah, I guess if you, the air, like spray air fresheners, you breathe those in, there's chemicals that are put into them. It's not just like if you spray it in the air and you happen, and it makes the room smell good. This is like purposefully being in a confined area, trying that. Okay, so let's talk about accidental. Hang on, listen. Yeah, you're trying to do it. Give me 1 second, and we'll come back to your question. Okay. So inhalants are one of the only substances that can happen to you. You can actually get some damage from them accidentally or on purpose. So we talked about some of these things, right? In order to prevent accidental inhalation, which we discovered was breathing in, what are some ways you can prevent that? What are something you can do like while you're spray painting, while you're painting your nails to help prevent inhalation? That? Cover your nose? Yeah, that, but you still have to breathe. You're still gonna have to breathe. Sierra? Open a window is a very good idea. Yusuf? Right, they have, doesn't even have to be an oxygen mask. They have special vapor masks that have the like, you know, the things on the side that help prevent the dangerous fumes from coming in. Ernest?
Like, you know how people get their nails done and the smell smells like really good? But, so like people that work there, they get brain damage every day.
Well, they have good ventilation in those places. They have fans on, they have circulating air. They're not in a tiny little room with those nail polishes. Some places, some of the people are starting to wear masks to help prevent themselves from inhaling more of those fumes than they want to. All right, towards the back, I want you guys to look at those posters in the back. We're going to talk about the toxic chemicals poster. I know you won't be able to read what it says, but I'm sure our group 9 here will help us out. Zach, would you read number 1, please?
Toxic chemicals go with nose and mouth.
Okay, so when you're inhaling, you're breathing them in. They're going in through your nose and mouth, just like you're breathing. Okay, number 2, would you read that, please?
They travel immediately throughout the bloodstream.
Okay, they travel immediately throughout the bloodstream. That means instantaneously. They're in your blood, just as if oxygen was going in. These chemicals are right into your bloodstream. And Lily, would you do number 3, please?
In seconds, they settle the brain, heart, liver, and
Okay, another one. That's incredibly fast. Seconds. Within seconds, these things are getting into your brain, heart, liver, and muscles. That's a really quick time for something to get in and affect your body. That's why people end up dying from this instantaneously. There's no time to react or even get help. It just happens quickly. Yes, Anthony. Did you have a question, Phil? Whipped cream can be used as an inhalant if you use the air and don't turn it upside down to get the whipped cream out.
Are you serious?
That was one of the pictures. Did you guys see the whipped cream up there?
Yeah.
So it's whipped cream. Just air comes out because there's pressurized air in there that forces that whipped cream out of the can. smell them without any toxic, they're not made with toxic chemicals. Yeah, because we wouldn't send those to kindergarten class, that would already be made with toxic chemicals. Okay, all right, come back, come on. Okay, Taryn? They're not talking so much about car air fresheners, they're talking about the spray cans. A lot of toxic stuff comes out of spray cans because it's pressurized, and the stuff they use to pressurize it is bad for you. Juliana?
Is Febreze like
Well, the spray one, the liquid spray one, it doesn't have any of those toxins in it. But the one that comes out like the aerosol cans, those are not good. The ones that have like the pressurized stuff, you push a button and it goes sprays out like a mist, right?
Yeah.
If you have to pump spray it, that's you're making the spray. There's not a chemical that's forcing that out of there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Adrian. Like spray deodorant? Well, it's probably kind of the same thing. As long, I mean, perfumes and deodorants and things, they're designed so they don't have a very high level of that. The idea is that yeah, that's fine. The idea is that you're not in a super tiny enclosed room purposefully breathing in a lot of it. Right? You just spray it on a little bit and then you guys are done. You'll be fine with that stuff. Giselle. Guys, listen up. Giselle is would like to say something, okay? Remember we talked yesterday about respect? Yes, Giselle. That's aluminum that you're thinking of. That's a different kind of a thing, but yeah, they do have aluminum in them. And yeah, that's believed to cause something. Okay, I'm just gonna take a couple more so we have a couple more things we want to do. Mauricio? Chlorine is it's like the yeah, if you breathe that in, that is not good for you, definitely. Hang on, Joshua. I don't know if they have a smell to them, but because that's what you're looking for. Something that has that like really chemically smell is what's going into your body and making bad things happen. Elena? Hairspray in a large quantity in an enclosed room is also not good for you. Some of the things are much worse for you quicker. Like for example, hairspray, not as bad for you as sniffing spray paint. But over a long period of time, if you're not in a ventilated area, it could cause some minor damage. Okay. We're going to move on a little bit. All right, I'll get your 3 questions and then that's it. Okay? Ernest?
Okay, so you know how you're talking about the air freshener is bad for you? So like if you, because I used to do this, I'd like spray a whole bunch in the air and let it fall on my face and sniff it. Is that bad?
Probably not great, but it's also going out into the air. So you're in a big room, you're not spraying it directly, you're not inhaling it directly out of the can, so you're fine. Yusuf? Okay. You guys listen up. John? Please. Okay, listen first, yes? Do you have the second one? Okay. Don't worry so much about it. You guys are fine. You use spray-on colognes or deodorants, that's fine. We're talking about like the heavy-duty stuff, like glue. Okay. All right, go ahead.
There's this girl, her name is Brandon Todd, and then she drank bleach, and then like they rushed her to the hospital, but when that's still like you're dead, because it like that.
Well, bleach is if you're drinking it, ingesting it instead of just smelling it. Guys, listen up. These are important questions, okay? If you drink bleach, instead of like an inhalant goes directly into your bloodstream, into your lungs, if you drink something, if they get to you in time, they can pump your stomach and get it out of you. There can still be damage though, because that's a very harsh chemical. Yes, exactly. Okay, last question, Marvin. Yeah, burning plastics also give off toxic fumes. So that's something that if plastics, if you guys have bonfires or something, don't toss plastics in there because they do give off a toxic chemical when they're burned. Okay.